All right, everybody. Good morning. This is a Tuesday morning edition of the Thomas Take Sports Podcast, brought to you by yours truly, Ryan Thomas, the host, the guy that likes to keep you as up to date as possible in regards to all things sports, whether it's NFL, mixed martial arts, Major League Baseball, you name it. I try to keep things as up to date as possible on this podcast and on my Twitter page at Thomas Takeover, on the Thomas Take Sports Podcast YouTube channel, on the Thomas Take Sports Podcast Instagram, you name it, every major social media platform, I am out there. Just got to look, just got to find me, follow, subscribe, like, whatever the word may be, go do it. Make it happen. I want to connect with each and every one of you that listen and view this show each and every episode, each and every day that I'm on. And it's tough to navigate when I'm going to be on because it really depends on my work schedule, but I've tried to keep it Sundays and Wednesdays is when I will be on. Mondays sometimes happen. Tuesdays sometimes happen. Saturday nights sometimes happens. Really, I hop on whenever I feel as if I have really good material to bring to the listeners and to bring to the viewers. And really, that's when I'll be on. So whenever there's a story that breaks, such as the one that I will discuss right here, right now, expect a Thomas Take Sports Podcast to follow shortly after, if not the next day. And in this case, the news last night broke, probably around 6:30 for me, probably around 7:30 for everybody else, that Nathan Peterman, quarterback of the Buffalo Bills, would be released by the Buffalo Bills and placed outright, free agency. So I have a lot to say about this, more to say about it than most. Most people would say good riddance. Most people would say this move should have happened a long time ago. Most people would say, why did it take this long? Pretty much every variety of those two statements has been said already. And I'm going to say one other thing. I'm going to take this a different route. I'm going to go down a different road. I'm going to turn right instead of turning left with this Nathan Peterman era, if you will. I feel sorry for this guy. I really do. I feel like he has become a scapegoat somewhat, a pariah somewhat, and I know his play was terrible. There's no two ways about it. I know he was bad. I know that he had a horrible touchdown to interception ratio for his career with, I believe it was 2 touchdowns and 13 picks, if memory serves me right. And I know on the surface that looks really, really bad. It is bad. But you do have to realize that every which situation he was thrown into was very bad, was not an ideal situation for, let me remind you, a 5th-round rookie or a 5th-round second-year pro to be thrown into. They were not ideal. And it is not every day that a 5th-round rookie quarterback is relied upon as heavily as he was in his 1.5-year stint with the team. And as far as evaluating as to why he should be the quarterback 1 back during the preseason, there was no debating that. You couldn't find a guy that was willing to debate that. The only real debate that there was in regards to Josh Allen possibly being the starting quarterback because of the fact that he was the rookie and that the fans wanted to see him play, whereas the majority of the fans wanted to see him sit and learn, albeit behind Nathan Peterman. What is there really to learn when you have a rookie in there? But I believe the Bills coaching staff knew that their offensive line was going to be as bad as it was, and they didn't want to put Josh Allen out there out of fear of him getting hurt. Lo and behold, he does give them the best chance to win with this terrible offensive line, and Josh Allen. Allen gave them the best chance to win with this bad offensive line. And Nathan Peterman did not. And that's really why Allen, supplanted Peterman as the starter. Other than that, if there was a solid veteran option, like a Josh McCown or a Teddy Bridgewater, or if there was just somebody, let's just say anybody but who they had, they would have started him to start the year and worked their way towards Josh Allen as the season wore on, depending on their record. Regardless of the record, I really feel. So the whole situation was mismanaged, and I can't really blame Nathan Peterman for that because his performance in the preseason was pretty damn good. Granted, it was the preseason. Granted, he was playing with first, second, and third string competition, but they all played with first, second, and third string competition, meaning Nathan Peterman, A.J. McCarron, and Josh Allen. And Nathan Peterman was the best quarterback for the Buffalo Bills in the 2018 NFL preseason. And that was why they led themselves to their evaluation of Peterman being the starter. We also forget, as time passes on, we do forget, because this league is a week-to-week league and things change so quickly and rapidly. Peterman was also named the starter due to the fact that A.J. McCarron, in a preseason game against the Browns, injured his knee and wasn't really quite the same after that, which is why they sent him packing for a fifth-round pick. So I can't really say that this is all Nathan Peterman's fault. It's very easy to say that, but I'm just not going to go that route because that's the easy way out. I'm going to dive into this. I'm going to look at it from an analytical approach and understand the reality of the situation back then, which was not that long ago, which was 3 months ago. And for whatever reason, I feel like Bills fans have forgot the last 3 months, or August in particular. He was a guy that was getting the ball out of his hand the quickest. He was a guy that led them down the field in a preseason game with the ones against the Carolina Panthers. There were positive signs from Nathan Peterman in the preseason, which led them to their decision, which led Sean McDermott to say, this guy does have something. There is something to his game. He can get the ball out quick. He can be accurate on quick throws. But the one thing that he did is on a sideline route where the receiver runs towards the sideline, he would look that one receiver down and throw him the ball. And the corner would just jump the route, and that would be it. That is what we saw far too much from this guy, and I do feel for him. I know he wanted to make it work. I know he wanted to be a part of this team. And I also have to say the guy was a very redeeming individual. As far as his character and everything, he checked off all of those boxes. So much to the fact that I can actually give you guys a story that pertains to my life with Nathan Peterman. One of my first training camps where I was able to actually talk to players was his draft year. Was last season, 2017. And I was able to talk to some of the rookies. I was able to talk to some of the players, and one of the guys I talked to was Nathan Peterman. And I really liked Nathan Peterman in college. I did a podcast specifically about how I believe Nathan Peterman was a dark horse quarterback in the 2017 NFL draft. And people can look at that and say you were so wrong, and they can look at that however they want to look at it. I really don't care, because I will give you the reasons as to why I thought that. Nathan Peterman was one of the most accurate passing college quarterbacks in the nation in his last season with Pitt. Nathan Peterman was a guy that didn't turn the ball over much in college. His game was to manage the game and protect the ball through accurate passes, West Coast style offense. And he completely decimated a team that went on to win the national championship that year, I believe, in Clemson, throwing 5 TDs. So there's a lot to take in there, and there's been guys that have come to bat for him that have said, things sometimes don't work out in the National Football League. Things that worked out in college don't translate over. And he played with guys like James Conner, played with guys like Alvin Kamara at Tennessee, and played against guys like Shaq Lawson. So there's real it's a real case of a guy that just simply didn't work out in the National Football League for the Buffalo Bills. I think he will get another opportunity. He's too young not to get another opportunity. He has too good of character to not get another opportunity. That's a really big deal to these teams here in 2018. And I think he has a much, 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 much better shot at getting a second chance than that of a Chad Kelly. Much better chance, regardless of his numbers in Buffalo, regardless of any other experience. I feel like a team will give him an opportunity. How far or how willing that team is to go and giving him a shot will be another situation. I don't think this guy will ever start an NFL game, but crazier things have happened. Gotta say, though, I do feel for the guy. I feel like he was largely a scapegoat. He was a punching bag, and I know his play dictated that. But at the same time, I know in talking to him how much he wanted this to work out. And you got to feel for a guy on a human level. As much as we criticize these players and we find reasons to put memes up about them and whatever it may be in this day and age that people do, we do have to realize that these guys are human beings, and that's just not. I just never like to react that way. I see fans react that way, and I feel like it's not an accurate representation of this fan base. I feel like people should have more intelligent dialogue, really diving into the situation rather than just stating the obvious. But that's just me. And maybe that's why I have this podcast, is because I enjoy diving into things. I'm not criticizing anybody. I'm not saying that it's wrong for them to react that way. It's just not the way I react to things. And that's really it. Now we have a true backup quarterback, I believe, in Matt Barkley, to Josh Allen. They have a veteran that can help these guys learn and grow, and Derek Anderson. So really, I've never been more confident in the Buffalo Bills quarterback situation, because Josh Allen, I think, is the real deal. Matt Barkley is an adequate backup, and Derek Anderson is a solid third stringer that can help these two guys get better. Good luck to Nathan Peterman the rest of the way. I wish him all the luck in the world. I thought that he was a great selection by the team based on his college acumen, based on what he was able to accomplish, and he was a definite sleeper quarterback, and I was very happy when Buffalo drafted him, and it's a shame that it didn't work out. Take care, everybody.